It's been officially announced that Shawn McGlaughlin has left Hull City and joined Blackburn Rovers on a permanent deal. Yes, we've known about this for a little bit of time. Of course, he left the training camp in Turkey a few days ago and now obviously has completed the permanent switch to Blackburn Rovers for a reported £500,000. So, of course, whether it's worth that, whether it's maybe worth a bit more for a deal for Shawn McGlaughlin, of course, a championship-proven centre-half. Our longest-serving player, let's not forget. He's been a Tiger for 6 years now, which made him the longest-serving Tiger. He no longer is. I believe that goes either to Alfie Jones or maybe Louis Coyle, one of the two, or even possibly a Regan Slater. But obviously, Slater had a few, a little bit where he went away. So I think it might be Alfie Jones, possibly Louis Coyle. But Shawn McGlaughlin, let's talk about him. So, Hull City put out defender Shawn McGlaughlin has completed a permanent move to fellow Sky Bet Championship side Blackburn Rovers for an undisclosed fee. We know it's somewhere within the region of £500,000. The 28-year-old made 146 appearances during a six-year spell with the Tigers after joining from his hometown club, Cork City, in July of 2019. The Irishman made his City debut against Reading in February of 2020 following a half-season loan, with St Mirren making 7 and 12 appearances respectively in his first 2 campaigns. The centre-half helped the Tigers consolidate back into the Championship, starting 53 second-tier matches across the 2021-22 to 22-23 seasons. He featured 26 times in the 23-24 campaign, City twice, captaining City twice during that spell, and demonstrating his versatility last term by playing more than half of his 37 league games at left back. Now, I will come on to that in a second. We'd like to thank Shawn for his commitment and hard work and professionalism throughout his 6 years at the MK Stadium and wish him the best for the future. Well, we've known about it for a bit of time. Of course, we've had time on sort of dwell on it and evaluate the situation. Don't fear if you're thinking, well, this is kind of ruining a bit of our depth situation with the centre-halves. I mean, it's only a freak injury to Charlie Hughes and John Egan, touch wood, this doesn't happen. And then we're in a bit of a sticky situation. Hull City have already made contact and I think signed the deal. It's not fully nailed down yet, but pretty much done with a free transfer that we don't know about yet. This one reportedly won't be officially announced until after the appeal process has happened. Of course, end of the month is seeming like the landscape for that one. So Shawn McGlaughlin, why has he left? Well, from what we've gathered from behind the scenes, it's because Jakirovic has gone up to McLoughlin and gone, right, plan for this season. You're probably not going to get a lot of first team action, or certainly not a lot of starts at in the first team. You're going to probably have a bench role, and then in a pinch you can come fill in the job at left back, fill in a job for whoever else at the centre half, or come on and play solid defence in possibly a back five to sort of see out a game in the Championship, get the starts in the cup games, stuff like that. And McLoughlin realistically doesn't want it. He's at a point in his career where he's 28 years old. He's just coming out of his prime pretty much. Of course, time quickly dwindles away and he wants to play some first team action week in, week out, starting for a Championship side, which Blackburn Rovers sounds like they're going to give him. Been talking to a few Blackburn fans and it doesn't seem like he's going to fit in there. It seems like maybe a bit more of a depth piece there. But of course, who knows really until the season sort of kicks underway. But he's officially a Blackburn Rover now, Shawn McGlaughlin. And what does this mean for Hull City's ranks? Well, of course, it's kind of a left-back option off the board for us. Of course, we've got Ryan Giles. What case is he in for the season? Well, of course, time will tell. His pre-season will certainly be one indicative of that. Of course, we've let Matty Jacob go out on loan. That can be recalled, of course. We do, of course, have Cody Drammer and Louis Coyle, who's out at the moment, who can play left back in a pinch, a bit similar to Shawn McGlaughlin last season. We, of course, have James Furlong, who knows what his sort of realm is at the moment. Of course, not out with the squad in Turkey. I believe he might be injured, or he might have been released. I'm not 100% sure actually on that one. I've not heard James Furlong's name in a bit of time, and I was out on loan last season. So what does it mean for the left back position? Well, reportedly we are still meant to be in for the realm of a left back. Whether it happens, whether it gets pulled off sooner rather than later, who really knows at this stage? A lot of the up in the airness about the appeal process is still up in the air. It sounds like we might be starting the season with a Ryan Giles at left back, or playing some sort of a three back with the wing backs being wingers. I mean, who really knows? What we've seen in pre-season so far, it sounds like it might be a Ryan Giles' job to have to certainly start the season. Centre half wise, depth, what have we got here? Well, of course, it's probably going to be John Egan and Charlie Hughes to start the majority of the games. Alfie Jones may get the odd start, maybe over an Egan or a Hughes, and then of course be subbed in later on for them fresh legs in the defence, and of course maybe come into play as a 5-back. What other defensive options do we have? Well, we have Cathal McCarthy. Now he seems like he's probably not going to get any senior action off the bat from Hull City, but I would certainly keep an eye on him, and certainly keep an eye on what he does for the under-21s, as he could be a person that Hull City could rely on come the stretch run down the final few months of the season, or maybe even before it. And of course, this unnamed free agent that Hull City are reportedly either signed or on the verge of getting the pen on the dotted line. So it seems like Hull City are in somewhat of an okay position. Whether you think 500k is worth for Shawn McGlaughlin, I'm not sure if Hull City is sort of in a prime position at the moment to really be asking for more from a fellow championship club for one of their sort of backup pieces, if you want to call McLoughlin that, although he's been a good server over the 6 years. Of course, with the full embargo, fee restrictions, appeal process, Hull City probably aren't in a position where they can go, actually, no, we want $1 million, $2 million for this championship proven centre half that can do a solid job for you centre back, left back, wherever. So yeah, I think that's the main reason why he's gone for 500k. Of course, it's another Tiger gone and not another Tiger in yet. Of course, the appeal process has slowed everything down, but hopefully in a couple of weeks, maybe by the end of the month, maybe just beyond it, we may be having some more videos like this where I can announce some new exciting players to come in, and hopefully all things are good for Hull City. But the McLoughlin deal, it hasn't ruined us. Of course, it's brought in a bit of money that may be desperately needed. I mean, that's 1 week's worth of debt that Hull City have with the 500,000 reported fee of that's how much we're losing every week or so on. So there we are. That pays for a week's worth of debt. But yeah, McLoughlin, we'll see how he does over at Blackburn. Of course, we'll see him twice this season. So let me know down in the comments what your reaction and thoughts are on McLaughlin's departure and moving over to fellow championship side Blackburn Rovers. And of course, stay tuned on the channel by liking and subscribing as I keep you updated on everything Hull City, including all the transfer news, all of the behind the scenes news. I mean, if you want to know if Hull City are going to go bankrupt, this is your place to be. So make sure you like and subscribe to keep up to date with all of that, and I will see you in the next video. Up the Tigers!